Well, finally I've got my Mercedes Sprinter camper van working again. So here I am back at the farm. I'm going to start working on my Mercedes Vario camper van conversion. Now, because I've been away for a good part of 3 weeks, I've not seen this van for a little while, and I've seen it for the first time in such a long time. It actually brings it home how bleeding big this thing is. It is huge. This is a momentous project that I've taken on, and it really is quite striking, the size of this van. And because I haven't seen it for quite some time, it really does bring that home. Just take a look at this. I don't even know if I can fit this all in my wide angle lens. This is a wide angle lens camera I've got. I'm actually stood about 2 foot away from my camera, but my arms are 6 foot apart. So you can just see how wide this lens is. And I can't fit the whole van in. It's, yeah, I'm a bit overwhelmed, to be honest. Right, all that said, I actually need to take everything out of this van now, because before I went away I put all my valuables in here. Well, not valuables, they're not really that valuable. They're valuable to me, not to anyone else, I very much doubt it. But I need to get everything out and just organise stuff and get ready to get back onto this van build. And I am determined to get this thing finished before Easter, so we can go away at the beginning of spring, if you like. Yeah, I think Easter kind of marks the beginning of spring, doesn't it? So that's my target, is to get this Mercedes Vario camper van conversion finished by Easter. I'm going to challenge myself. Right, what have I done with the keys? Where did I put them? Be right back. Don't panic, I left them in the ignition of the Sprinter. Right. I really can't remember what I put in here, or how much stuff I put in here, for that matter. I left the bonnet open. Oh yeah, let's just talk about this for a minute. So I've left the bonnet open so that to try and deter any rodents nesting underneath the bonnet of the van, because in my past experience, and I know other people that have experienced this, when you leave a vehicle alone for a long time, or any length of time, inside a farm barn, rodents and so on and so forth do tend to make nests underneath and inside the van. I'm hoping that's not the case. Let's come up here and we'll take a look underneath the bonnet. I think that's going to be my first thing to do. Just need to find my torch. Where did I put that? Probably in the Sprinter. So this is my little head torch, and what I do, I leave it hung over my gear lever all the time and permanently plugged in, so I know whenever I need it in an emergency, say for instance, I know I've got a torch to hand. It's very small and it literally just hangs over the gear lever, and I'll plug it in, and whenever I'm not using it, that's where it is, so I know where to find it, and it's always charged when I need it. Just take a look underneath my bonnet, see if I've got any rodents. Hopefully not. But I can't see any nuggets under here. The telltale sign, of course, is mouse droppings or rats droppings. Looks like I'm okay. Yeah, so there you are, that's a relief. Doesn't look like I've had any intruders of the furry kind. Oh yeah, I got that to sort out as well. Before I left, I made a really quick video about trying these diesel heater fuel pumps, and I took my diesel heater apart to demonstrate how quiet or how noisy they are. I've still got to replace sorry, I've got a dry throat now. I've still got to put this all back together. So I think I'm going to start today by doing that actually. Oh, sorry, I need water. Just so happens I did have some here. Right, let's find some overalls, find some gloves, and then, yeah, put my diesel heater back together. I really do need to sort this diesel heater out because I don't like the cold. Let's put this up here. There's a room. Got no organisation in here at the moment. as regular viewers will know, I've literally just moved into this barn, and I've thrown everything in here without even considering any kind of order and where stuff should go. So it is rather messy, to say the least. So I think what I need to do is step back, don't do any work on the Vario for a little while, and just sort this place out and get it organised, better organised, better than it is. And trust me, it is not. Put this on here. You can't see what I'm doing, can you? There we go. Now you can see my handsome face whilst I talk. Yeah, you keep telling yourself that. Right, how am I I need to suspend that like that. Otherwise, diesel is going to go everywhere. We don't want that. I've got to put under there. Was I talking about rats, weren't we? So far I've got no rats in here, I don't think. I don't want rats attacking me Vario, because my friend Aussie Dave, bless him, he's got a Sprinter that he lives in and a couple of army trucks that he's fixing up and doing up and whatever. Like these huge overland army trucks. He wants to turn one of those into an overlander. Anyway, his Sprinter, because it's been parked up in his yard for a little while and he's been living in it, he went to start it a couple of weeks ago and it wouldn't start because he's had squirrels nesting under his bonnet. They've got up under his bonnet, they've created a nest and they've chewed through his wiring loom. Which is why I'm a little bit paranoid. So I've invested, some of you may not like this, in a rat trap, just in case. Also, I've been looking online for air guns and stuff, doing a bit of research, you know, like you do. So I used to have an air gun, but ironically enough I sold it to my mate Aussie Dave before I went to Australia, because I thought I can't take it with me. He really liked it. I said, there you go, have it. But because of the pandemic I didn't end up going to Australia. Last time I went to visit Dave, he's got my old air pistol out and he's going, oh, do you remember this? And he's like putting pellets in it and he's shooting tin cans and that. We had a good time. I shot a few tin cans, he shot a few tin cans, and I said to him, can I have my gun back now? He said no. I mean bugger. But that's alright. We've been looking for another air gun, a replacement basically, and I found one. I found this air gun. You don't have to break the barrel, it hasn't got a spring in it, it works off of CO2 cartridges of all things. I've ordered it, it takes a couple of weeks to be delivered because they have to deliver it by hand, because they can't just send it in the post because it's a weapon. And I'm rather looking forward to getting this gun, not to shoot rats, but just for shits and giggles, just for, you know, I'm in a farm here, I've got loads of land around me, I can set up tin cans and stuff and just pop a few tin cans. Yeah, good stress relief I think, because, you know, doing this sort of stuff is really stressful. I do get stressed, as you can tell. So yeah, I'm looking forward to getting a new air pistol, trying it out. And I'm going to take it down to Dave and go, look at this one, better than yours. Better than my old one, I should say. Yeah, bugger. What mean bugger? I wouldn't let me have it back. I thought, no, I like it, he said. Oh, thanks mate. There we go, I think that's all back in. We're going to need this later as well because it is cold. Well, the good news is the diesel heater actually works still, amazingly enough. I've tidied everything up. I've had a bit of a tidy up inside the van, kinda. So I'm going to have a bit of lunch now. Now, believe it or not, because we've had quite a bit of sun, my batteries are fully charged in my Sprinter, so I'm going to take full advantage and cook using electricity. This thing, I want to show you this because some very good friends of mine, John and Mandy, recommended this. It is basically an electric frying pan. or a deep frying pan. You can use, I mean, I've fried eggs in this and all sorts. And I'm going to cheat today. I'm going to have a little bit of a cheat day. Switch her on, there we go. Some buttery stuff. So yeah, when I don't want to cook anything, what I like to do is have a curry. And I'll buy these instant curries, you know, the cheap ones from Lidl's. They're really cheap. Oh. These are £2.50 and I've checked the ingredients. The worst thing on here is I think it's rapeseed oil. Yeah, sunflower oil and rapeseed oil. That's the worst thing that's in here. The ingredients aren't that bad. Not many preservatives. So yeah, green curry for the win. And all I do is melt a bit of butter in the pan. And basically just bung it all in there. Hang on, let's not get green curry all over my bedding. Where's my table? Bring the table. Let's bring the table into play. There we go, that's better if the lead's long enough. There you are. Yeah, like I say, these pots are, they're really low wattage. I should have checked actually before I put the butter in it. I can't remember. Hang on. For those of you that are interested. Oh, I'll have a look in a minute. I'll tell you what, I'll leave a link in the description of this video for anyone that's interested in one of these pots. Can't recommend them enough. You can see how quickly, I think it's about 300 watts on the lowest setting, that's all it uses. You can use them like, well, not like a slow cooker, they're not a slow cooker, as you can hear they do get really hot quite quickly, and that's on number 1. There's 2 settings. From memory I think it's 300 watts on the lowest, 600 on the highest. There you go, I'll just bung it all in like that, right? But I had a bit of a, yeah, to make it a bit better, what I'll do is add a little bit of cream, just a bit of cream in there, and I'll tell you what, adding a little bit of cream to one of these ready meals makes all the difference. So there's today's cooking tip for you. I'm going to put a bit more butter in there as well. Bit of butter, bit of cream. You can't go wrong. That's really quick, and I know it's junk food essentially, but it's the better of 2 evils, I suppose. Anyway, I'm going to cook this, sit down and enjoy it. I'll see you when I'm done. Well, I've had some lunch, I feel full, I feel energised and I'll try and kid. My battery on my wireless microphone's gone flat because I left it switched on. Forgot to turn it off, so I'm using a different microphone, so this may sound a little bit different. Not that that really matters. What matters is, what's my first task on the van? Well, before I went away on holiday, I built this battery box, and this battery box had to be a certain height to allow for the batteries to fit inside it. My next task was going to be to finish off building around the water tank at the back. I've had a look at it, I've had a measure up, and I've realised that this box on this side, because I built it before I built the battery box, it is slightly lower. And because I'm a little bit OCD, I really don't like it being a little bit lower. And I can't finish off building the water tank surround because I want to bring this back up to the same height as this side. For no other reason other than I'm a Virgo and I'm a little bit OCD and I like things to be symmetrical. At the moment, if I hold my hands like this, you can see it's a little bit lower. And quite honestly, I don't like that. And it's going to be really simple to do. All I've got to do is literally cut another piece of phylonic ply to make a new side for it. The lid can stay exactly the same. Unfortunately, the front panel, that's going to be junk because obviously it won't no longer fit in there. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do first. I'm going to do this and then do the water tank surround. First, I'm going to finish off my coffee. And it's starting to rain, so I'm going to need to do this really quick. It's going to be difficult to film this. But there you are. Hopefully you're enjoying watching this video so far. If you are, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy watching my content. And the reason I'm talking so fast is because it is actually starting to rain. Well, I've just spent a good 20 minutes hunting high and low for the keys to my van so I can get in the back of the Sprinter to get my screwdrivers and power tools out the back. And I just remembered, here they are. Literally just hit me up the side of the head like a brick. I know where my keys are. That's a plonker. Right, got it. Now one of the key reasons I try and avoid gluing anything is so that if I do change my mind, which I do quite often, I can simply unscrew stuff and redo it. So for that reason, I'm so glad I haven't glued this together. Unlike this is all glued together as well as screwed. So this is permanent. I can't change this, which is a shame because I would like to make it a little bit lower. But yeah, because I've glued it, I can't. But yeah, I just wanted to share that with you. If you're like me, you keep changing your mind, you've got this can't quite decide attitude, what's right or wrong, then yeah, do try and avoid gluing anything unless you are 100% sure it's never going to become undone again, or you want to take it apart again. Because now, all I've got to do is climb in the back and unscrew this, and then I can rebuild it. Hopefully my battery is charged. I think it should be. Let's see how easy this works. Try not to lose these screws if I can, because I can use these again. Right, take that bit out. Let's go and redesign this. Right, so basically all I'm going to be doing is taking the sides off of this and reuse the top panel. The side panel, they won't go to waste. I'll still reuse this timber, I'm sure, for something or other. So I need to take it apart. I'll take these brackets off. We're not going to use those again. I'm basically going to rebuild it. Almost forgot to set the depth of the plunge saw, because I've been cutting some really thick material before I left, so the depth of this is probably way too deep. Yeah, if I remembered, I would have sliced a big gash in my table otherwise. Right, so what we do, put the poster on the track, on top of the thing we're going to cut, put it down until it touches the table, lift the guide up, and screw it up. Simple as that. Simple little operation. Save me table. Oh, jeez. My mind just isn't on the work. Right, start again. Let's get this nicely lined up. Always use my set square up against the back of the track to make sure it's nice and square. This has got to be 28 high. This is pretty much it. All I've got to do is cut this 28-inch high and the right length. And that's it. Screw it back together and we're done. It's going to look so good. Unlike my Sprinter, when I did my Sprinter I was just using bits and pieces that I could find laying around anywhere because I was piss poor broke. But now, thanks to YouTube, that's not the case. Oh, and now I cashed in my private pension as well. What the hell? The way the economy's going, the way the country's going, I just figured, what's the point in having money in the bank? Because the longer it sits in the bank, the more it's going to devalue, right? So I just thought, you know what, I'm just going to spend it. I've got an income now from YouTube. Regular. I'm so grateful for that. Believe me, I'm not taking it for granted ever, because it has changed my life. It really has, for the better. So yeah. Now, to raise this the same height as the battery box, I'm going to do exactly the same as I did on that side. Let's just use these bits of 44 by 44 mil. I've cut these to length. Just put them on top of the other like that. Then the lid can simply sit on top. There's going to be a bit of a void under here, but it doesn't matter because I think what I'm going to do, can I do it? No, I can't. I was thinking about making it so I can lift the lid off. No, it's got to be fixed, isn't it? Yeah, alright, let's just avoid. It's unavoidable. Well, there you go, that didn't take any effort whatsoever, and now I have 2 matching boxes each side of my slide out drawer. Not only that, I reckon now this is that much bigger, I'll actually be able to get my diving cylinder underneath there, which is a bonus, along with all my shovels and brollies and all sorts of nasty dirty stuff. Now I didn't put a lot of screws in the top of this because later on I do want to actually seal the inside of this. I actually want to seal it so it's completely watertight inside. Does that make sense? I think it does. I'm going to fiberglass it all inside and make it like a bit like a bathtub, if you like. So if I do get sand and water and all that in there from dirty stuff that's going to get slid inside there, it's not going to leach out into the rest of the van. Last thing I want is salt water leaching down into the seals of this van. So I'm going to take this lid off later on, not now, it's not important, and then yeah, maybe even when the van's finished built. You know, it's not an important part of the van build. The important part is now to cut the timbers to box off this water tank. I think I'll do that tomorrow.